Good morning, everyone. I have to apologize for the noisy background because I have troubles with our power source in our house. So I'm taking this video in my office now. To continue our lesson last week, sorry for the delay of this video, but in the first part of this lesson, we tackled the laws governing marriage in the Philippines, and that includes the Constitution, the Executive Order 209 or the Family Code, and also the code for the Muslim affecting the Muslims, or a specific presidential decree. Sorry, I forgot the number, but okay, to continue for today, we will tackle the practical side of the laws. Now, what should you have in case you are one of the parties and in case you want to get married? Now, the party must be of legal age, and that means he must be 18 or she must be 18 years old, and they have to have a marriage license unless they are exempted under the law. And the exemption is applicable in case the two parties have cohabited without any legal impediment for at least 5 years. It means that any of them are single, both of them actually are single, and they're not committed legally to any person, like they're married to another and it has not been annulled. So that would include, or that would be considered as a legal impediment. Now, the cohabitation must be at least 5 years, and the cohabitation may be evidenced by an affidavit attesting the said status. Now, the marriage license is valid for 120 days and may be used anywhere in the Philippines. You have to take note of this because I heard some questions that whether the marriage license is only applicable or only to be used in the jurisdiction where it was issued. Now, as to parental consent or advice, if the parties, either of them, is 18 years old or between 18 years old and to 21 years old, it means that they have to obtain parental consent. And if they're 21 years old to 25 years old, they have to get their parental advice. And these, either consent or advice, must be in writing. Now, aside from that, they have to have their valid identification cards. This means that these are valid government IDs like your passport, NBI, or your voter's identification card. And also, the parties must have their certificate of live birth. These two actually would, these first two documents or cards in the slide as listed, as you can see, actually establishes the age of the parties, and the CINUMAR, or the Certificate of No Marriage Record, and this is issued by the Philippine Statistics Authority, and the CINUMAR is valid within 6 months from the time it was issued. What about the foreigners? Foreigners are required to produce or submit certificate of legal capacity to contract marriage. How about the Americans? Since the US do not issue certificate of legal capacity to contract marriage, in lieu of this, or in replacement to this requirement, their consular office or their embassy would issue only affidavit in lieu of a certificate of legal capacity to contract marriage. So take note of this requirement, because if one of the parties involved is a foreigner, this is a requirement. Now, what about certificate of attendance of pre-marriage counseling for those applicants under 25 years old? So this is an additional requirement because the pre-marriage counseling, that includes reproductive health care, like birth control. That's where this topic is tackled. What about the witnesses? The witnesses must be of legal age and they should be present during the ceremony. So I hope with this very short lesson, you were able to take note of what should the parties and their witnesses have during the solemnization of the marriage, and for them to be allowed to be married validly under our laws. So again, the thanks our likers and followers of our Facebook page, and also our more than 1,700 YouTube subscriber, and our work in progress, the LexClassroom website. So again, we thank those individuals who liked and even tried our quiz. And please don't forget to take our quiz this afternoon. I will have to catch up also for our new lesson this week on corporation law. Thank you so much. Thank you, and have a happy day.